Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Of course, we want to send out double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders, the great millstone. This is Naaman with the DC camp. And what you see before you, the title says Tacoma officer speaks up about why he made Let's Go Brandon viral video and resign. So here's this compatriot, this so-called red-blooded American, like none of the rest of us have red blood, or that you understand what that really means. All right, this is talking about them specifically, these Edomites, these Joe Sixpack and whatever. But it's beautiful because these things are working against them in this day and time. It's more and more division, and you better believe the higher ups, the elites, they got something planned very soon. It just flashed across my phone. Let's see if it's on here. Here it is. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tests positive for the bug. All right, the big C. Just won't let it go. Why? Because that part of their agenda, all right, isn't finished. But anyway, back to this. And it says Robert Hollingsworth, that's his name, knew what this is a picture here, says he knew what he was doing when he filmed himself in uniform signing off from his last shift as a Tacoma police officer. The video, which referred to Tacoma leaders as spineless and tyrannical and included a conservative slogan criticizing President Joe Biden, went viral. Hollingsworth had already resigned from the department, but police officials placed him on administrative leave because the video violated city policy. Officers are not allowed to use city uniforms or vehicles in personal communications or social media without permission from the chief. His last day was March 13th. So it's not quite a month. We're going to go ahead and play the video here so you'll understand what's going on here. Here we go. It says Patriot Takes. All right. This Twitter account says the right is sharing a video of a Tacoma police officer telling police in other cities to disobey orders against the Freedom Convoy and warn that if they don't, conservatives will turn on you, and they absolutely should. Again, more division. Mark 3rd chapter. All right. The officer ended his video with, "Let's go Brandon." So here we go.
For the next minute or so, I'm a police officer for the Tacoma Police Department. This message is to the police in D.C. and other cities that have spineless and tyrannical leaders such as mine. Stop allowing the left and the media to use our profession for political gain. The Freedom Convoy is coming, and you will be tested. If you violate people's constitutional rights due to the orders of some liberal tyrant, conservatives will turn on you, and they absolutely should for you doing so. Let us not forget that conservatives support law enforcement as they realize it is essential to upholding our rights and freedoms as Americans. Please do not.
That doesn't include you and me.
It only fuels a liberal narrative, divides our country, and goes against everything America is about. If you are going to stay in the profession, do it honorably. Remember, your oath is ultimately to uphold and support liberty, which is the absolute
Their liberty.
this country is built upon. Police each other, and now for the fun part. That's right. I was signing off for the last time. Just want to say cheers, boys. Let's go, Brandon.
There you go. That was his last call in. All right, signing off. It says it was taken. Wait, let me go back up. See, this is the thing. Like, all that coded shit he was talking about, liberty and all that. That's not for you and me. You got to understand that. A lot of our people till this day still buy into that, we're all as one bullshit. All right. I don't know well, at this point, they're a lost cause. All right, let's just face it. All right. A lot of our people are just gone. They're beyond saving. All right. Hence the 2/3. All right. But, yeah, I quoted it. Let me go ahead and get it. Because this is what it's coming down to. This is Mark 3. Let's start at 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And you have to understand, even though we're under the curses and a lot of the division amongst our peoples, not only you're talking about the northern and southern kingdom, but you're talking about just amongst us, period. All right. These people learn to, utilize it, weaponize it against us. So they, They helped further on, that's the word, I can't think of it now. The damage that was caused, all right, by the curse, all right. They played it for what it was worth, all right, keeping us, Psalms 83, all right. They took crafty counsel, all right. That's part of that crafty counsel, all right. All these programs that our people thought were to our benefit, no, they were not, all right. They aided in our destruction, putting the woman over us. These things were strategic, all right. These things were thought out. In fact, let me go ahead and get that. Let's see. Because we are the enemy. And if you're paying attention, they tell you that each and every day. As in Psalms chapter 83, a song or psalm of Asaph, keep not thou silence, O Most High Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All right. These proud devils, this is what they do. All right. Just because, and this is something else our people never quite understood. I don't know. It's part of that's Jake's nature, It's just we got enemies, and that Christianity bullshit, plantation Christianity bullshit, has hurt our people as it was intended. All right, there's a whole lot of shit behind that. All right, Psychology 101. This is verse 3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right, we're not talking about the frauds that are over there in the land now, the little hats, the big nose people. No, people are waking up more by the day and understanding that those people over there aren't the real Israelites. That's why they play these word games with you. They're Israelis. All right, but I don't want to get too far off in that. 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Remember, a lot of you that I would suggest you look more into the Nuremberg trials where, for instance, in questioning the Nazis, all right, that were on trial, a lot of them told the prosecutors that they were copying the model for the Nazi regime, by and large, was America. All right, they had studied Jim Crow and all of that and decided that, for instance, one thing they refused to follow was the one-drop rule and all that. They thought that was way too harsh. All right, and that lets you know that these devils, what they did, and there are others. When you go to history.com, there's a, how was it worded? Something to the effect how the Nazis copied Jim Crow. I can't remember the exact title, but it goes into that. All right, And there's another video I did a story on. Time passes so fast, it may have been a year or 2 years ago, where they talk about uh, how during World War One down on the border, where yes, this has been going on for a long time. It just didn't. These issues didn't just surface over the past few years. This has been going on for a long time. We had the same problem since what? The Alamo. All right. These devils don't belong here. And the issue, of course, then as it is now, well, up until like World War One and all that, because a lot of that had to do with what? Slavery. Jake. They tell you about the Mason-Dixon line, the North and South in the continental U.S., but you have to understand that Jake went down south and across the Mexican border also. So all this ties in, and one of the big things that started the Santa Ana, that pissed him off when it goes to the Alamo was slavery. These damn Edomites wouldn't hold up their end of the bargain. They don't tell you that. And they got their asses slaughtered. All right? Don't believe all that hero shit that's that propaganda shit. All right? But back to this. You got to understand, this whole thing is set up as punishment for us. And the time is winding down. And these Edomites are growing really restless. All right, because they see, unlike most Jake, they see the handwriting on the wall. I'm making a reference to Daniel 5th chapter. But they see it. They see their power diminishing in the world. I'm talking about America specifically. They're not enjoying that demigod-like status that they used to have, where their word was just law. It carried so much weight. Now everybody don't want, and that's because the little hats. You remember, let me see if I can get it. The more and more as time goes on, you're starting to see, let me get it here, Jeremiah 49, you're starting to see who's pulling the strings. All this shit about conspiracy theory, people are starting to see now. Here it is. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Most High Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom." That's the so-called white man. That's his biblical nationality. He is Edom. He's red. He is not white. All right? Neither are we black. We are different shades of brown. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Most High Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." And this is ultimately what's going to happen. All right? They can't get around it. And for sure, they're trying to offset prophecy. But, hey, Isaiah 55th chapter, starting at verse 8, the Most High's word is it's going to go out, and it's not going to come back void. All right? And, his thoughts are above ours. There's no way you can, and he's going to find that out. All right? As it says in Ezekiel 28, he thinks he's a God. The Most High going to show him he's not a God, that he's just a man. All right? Let's see. You saw the video. It says they placed him on administrative leave. It says he's a 33-year-old, has left his career in law enforcement, is joining a local action committee, supporting veteran candidates, and is taking his message on the road with public speaking events. That's another thing, the veterans. Now you got another problem, and they're still trying to get these guns, because places like Australia, you can't own a gun there. That's why one of the reasons why they went hard like they did, because they knew they weren't going to get the pushback like they expect here in America, where you got, I think America makes up, what is it, in population in the world, I think it's like 5%, something like that. And as far as handguns and shit like that, uh, as far as gross numbers, it's like 49%, something like that, in the world. That's a lot of fucking guns, people. So that's why they're like handling America here, because ultimately the whole agenda, this is worldwide. All right, in case you didn't know. So they have to like tiptoe around because they don't want to, number one, expose themselves and what they're really trying to do. They're trying to still be on the slick about it and not revert to brute force, but eventually it's going to come to that. He's going to have to resort to his other blessing other than deceit. He's going to have to resort to the sword. All right, that's prophecy again. There's no way around it. All right, and as it says in Second Ezra 16th chapter from 70 on down, says, then it's going to be known who my chosen are, because these motherfuckers are going to come in as a flood. All right. It says he came to work for Tacoma in April 2019 from the Henderson Police Department in Nevada. He joined Tacoma SWAT team in September 2021, fulfilling what he described as a childhood dream, but resigned from the team in January before giving notice February 23rd that he intended to leave the department. During his time there, Hollingsworth earned a commendation for his professionalism, helping a woman whose stolen car he had recovered. He had one complaint filed by a woman who believed he spoke to her in a rude manner, blah, 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 blah. She called him a little punk. It says Hollingsworth was found to have violated one department policy in June 2021 when he failed to turn on his body camera when responding to a commercial burglary at the Pierce County Auditor's building. He told superiors he probably forgot to turn it on. Yeah, okay. And was given a verbal warning as well as a supervisor coaching on the policy and its importance. So you see right there. All right, that gives you a clue as to this guy's mindset, whatever he was doing. All right, as all of them, they don't want to be, like I said, they wanted to be like the good old days where they could get away with beating Jake's ass and getting away with a lot of, underhanded shit. All right, he said he used force once while a Tacoma police officer. In August 2020, he used a taser on a man holding a knife after he advanced toward Hollingsworth and forced the officer to walk back. Couldn't have been a Jake. No. I find that highly unlikely. All right, but you've seen, hopefully, for those of you who know where I'm going with this, you've seen enough videos say that they treat, us very differently. You've seen videos where they put up with shit that you're like, really? Motherfuckers, yeah, if you don't get it by now, you just don't get it, all right? It says changes in Washington State policing, the spike in violent crime, and Hollingsworth's views on administrators prompted him to give notice in February, all right? Unfortunately, policies of state lawmakers, the actions of city leaders, failures of police administrators, and ever-increasingly violent working conditions has made the decision to leave the department a very easy one for myself and family. And this is the thing. Oh, well, let me read this first. It says, violent crime has risen significantly in Tacoma and across the country in recent years. The city has seen a spike in homicides since 2020, and this year is on track to tie or beat the previous year's numbers. There were 32 homicides both in 2020 and 2021, which is the highest, blah, 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 blah. It says, police were always at a disadvantage, but now I've been shot at, guns pointed at me. How am I supposed to ensure I come home to my family and justify going to work in this environment? Isn't that what you signed up for? And while we're on that subject, don't you think everybody wants and should be able to go home to their family? Not just you. And those of your profession. Especially when you, like I just stated earlier, you're very selective. All right? These are people that should not be over us, given the history of how the police department started out. This thing started out as them being slave catchers, patty rollers. All right. And it continues, this whole thing. What a lot of people still don't realize that this police force really still enforces segregation. All right? Yeah. Still about segregation. Get caught in the wrong neighborhood, especially after dark. All right. You'll see. But that doesn't apply with them in your neighborhood. And a lot of Jake just don't. For whatever reason, I was just thinking about that earlier. They don't play those games that they play with us, you know. Talking about the Karen things. Anyway, so let me get some more scriptures here. This is because he's got a point when it comes to these politicians, but you got to understand they're bought and paid for. Whatever good intentions these people, when they first started out, they ran, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But once they get in that office and they get instructed as to what's really going on and how it's in their best interest to play ball, that's why they changed. Let's go to no, you told people you gonna be for the people and blah blah blah. No, let's sit you down here. And if you don't go along, hey, it's so easy to get you up out of there. Or you finish your term, you say fuck this, you never come back. But a lot of them, that's why you see motherfuckers in there for 30, 40, and 50 years. All right, because they become power hungry. This is Romans 6. It ain't about you or me. It's about that money. Romans 6:16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. And you can forget that last part because there's nothing righteous about the politics. All right. Nothing whatsoever. This is set up, you know, this is all about the wealthy. All right. That's why all these, that's another video, but I wonder what percentage of all these, especially these old legislators, I wonder what percentage of them are millionaires, multi-millionaires, multi-millionaires. They stopped caring about the little man decades ago. All right, you got all these lobbyists for, and that's what these Joe Sixpack, like this guy, you know, that's what they've come to realize, although way too late. All right. But that truck thing left here week before last here in D.C. So, but still, it's not over. It's not. That's why I did the video. It's not just limited to, you know, this is. And we're not even a year. Well, scratch that. So we're a year and let's see. This is April. Coming up on 3 months into this guy's presidency. Got a long way to go. A long way to go. And it seems to me that they're trying to ensure that Trump, because he's basically a shoo-in. So it looks like they're trying to scramble and get something on this guy so he can't run again. However they do it. Like I say, this guy, you know, if he doesn't die in office, and especially if that happens and you know who becomes president, it's over. It's over. So they got to do something. They got to hurry up and get this agenda rolling. All right, to establish what they're going to establish, because they think they're counting. They got like 3 years. All right. Well, not even 3, because you got midterms coming up here this fall. So things could drastically change, because, like I said, you got a whole lot of unhappy, miserable Edomites. All right. And they're fed up with this shit. And of course, Jake gets the blame. Why? I don't know. We don't run anything, but we're just a convenient target, like we've always been. Hey, so with that, I'm not gonna get into rambling and all that. This went further than I really wanted it to. But yeah, this is something Jake needs to pay attention to. That's why I did the video. All right. And again, be careful where you go. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings, because it's getting rough out here. And it's situations like I just described where we'll be prone to some of these shootings that are going on. Because this devil, you know, this is what he's known to do. Take out an Uzi and just start going crazy. You never know. All right. The big thing is, well, don't get caught out in places like that. But let's see. I think I had something else. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I ought to go along with that, because, you know, we talking about those politicians. Once they get in there, they go to these parties, just like in Hollywood. All right. All this shit is connected. It says, John 8:34, Yahweh shall answer them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is a servant of sin. You're either going to serve one or the other, you know. You know, you can't serve two masters, all right? You're going to love one and hate the other. This is 2 Peter 2:19. This is, while they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same is he brought in bondage. Like I said earlier, they might have the best of intentions, and we know the saying as regards to that. They might have had the best intentions when they first ran. Prime example is the former wrestler and governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura. Had the best intentions, straightforward guy, from what anybody, wrestling career and whatever have you. And once he got in, I mean, I encourage you to research what I'm telling you, but once he got in, he was like, whoa, this is some bullshit. All right, till finally he found out that all of his life up until that point, he just was, under the impression that the CIA only had jurisdiction outside the country. But no. No, they've got people stationed throughout. No. And he said he made up his mind because he called his buddy, who since passed away, I think what was his name? Rick. He was the founder of SEAL Team 6. I can't remember his last name. Merch something. But yeah, he was like, nah. He said, I've been out of the game a while, but he said if I had to guess, this is what he told Jesse Ventura. He said if I had to guess, because he was called to a real weird meeting. All right, him and his, I believe his chief aide, and they were like, what the fuck is going on here? And that's why he called his friend, the former, his other SEAL buddy. He told me, said, like I said, he'd been out of the game a while, but if he had to guess, they didn't see you coming. They didn't expect you to win the governorship, all right, which lets you know something else, all right? Like I said, I encourage you to check that story out. And that's why he said, you know what? One term, I'm out of this shit. Fuck it. Scared the shit out of him, you know? But yeah, this is all bullshit. And people, you know, hey, the right people are tired. And I say the right people, I mean these damn Edomites. All right? Because this is their mess. Hey, again, here it is on the screen. This Tacoma police officer, he resigned. You know, he's doing something else now, but he's one of those. He's representative of, well, hey, that attitude that, you know, these racist ass pieces of shit are fed up. So that's why I'm saying we need to be on alert. For you Jakes, you need to be on alert. There's no telling what they'll do. Of course, we're the convenient target, like I said. So be careful out there. Hey, so with that, once again, salutations to all the Akim out there around the four corners. All right. Speaking this truth in all honesty and sincerity. All right. Help waking our people up. Hey, so with that, shalom.